Today's story is one of the biggest global moves in tech regulation we've seen in years, and it's already sparking controversy, celebration and panic across social media companies. Australia has become the first country in the world to enforce a nationwide ban on social media for anyone under 16. TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, all required to block underage accounts or face massive fines. And stepping into the spotlight, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle praising Australia's bold action, but warning that this is just a band-aid on a much deeper wound. This is about children, it's about mental health, it's about billion-dollar tech companies, and it's about a global movement that's gaining momentum. So buckle up, because we're breaking down the full story, the reactions, the potential consequences, and why Harry and Meghan are so personally invested in this fight. Australia's new law is groundbreaking. No other country has taken a step this aggressive and this universal. Here's what it does. Anyone under 16 is banned from creating a social media account. Platforms must enforce the rule, not the parents. 10 major platforms, including YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, X, Twitch, are all included. Companies found violating this rule, they face fines up to $49.5 million AUD, roughly $33 million USD. The government says it's responding to child exploitation, rising teen suicide rates, cyberbullying and algorithms that push harmful content to minors. Officials compared the ban to age limits on alcohol. Just because some kids will find ways to sneak past it doesn't mean the law shouldn't exist. This is a bold move, but it also raises big questions. And that's exactly where Harry and Meghan enter the conversation. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex released a detailed statement praising Australia, but they didn't shy away from criticism either. They called the decision bold, decisive action to protect children at a critical moment in their development. They applauded Australia for sending a message that a child's mind is not a commodity to be exploited. Let that sink in, a sharp, direct blow to the business model of social media. But then they add a warning that grabbed everyone's attention. This ban is an effective measure to stop imminent harm, but ultimately it only works as a band-aid. Their message? This solves the symptoms, not the disease. The real issue is the way social media is designed to keep children hooked. Harry and Meghan acknowledge something important. Social media isn't pure evil. They said it can inspire creativity, connect young people to communities, educate and inform, and even save lives, especially LGBTQ+ youth or teens in mental health crises who rely on online support networks. But then they deliver one of the most chilling lines of the statement. When there's no option to opt out of the harms, the very lifeline they depend on can become the thing that kills them. This is the darker side. Cyberbullying, self-harm content, algorithm-driven rabbit holes, predators' online comparison culture, and addictive design features made to keep minors scrolling. This is the world kids are living in today. This isn't a PR statement. This is part of a years-long mission for Harry and Meghan. Through the Archewell Foundation, they've dedicated significant resources to fighting online harms. In 2022, they created the Parents Network, a group made up of families whose children were harmed or lost due to social media. Harry and Meghan said, "We've heard from too many grieving parents, too many families devastated by cyberbullying and algorithmic manipulation. These are parents who lost children as young as 12, 13, 14 to content pushed by algorithms with no accountability. They've spoken to parents whose kids were pushed towards self-harm, groomed by strangers, bullied, relentlessly addicted to harmful content, or overwhelmed by algorithmic pressure. So when Harry and Meghan speak about this issue, they're not speaking as royals. They're speaking as parents and advocates. Harry and Meghan also point out something the public needs to think about. How exactly will these platforms enforce this ban? Will platforms require ID uploads, use facial recognition, track biometric data, increase surveillance on kids? These questions are not small, they're massive privacy concerns. The couple warned that young people are rightly concerned about whether age restrictions will create new opportunities for their lives to be surveilled. Imagine being 14 and needing to scan your face to use Instagram. Or having your personal data collected just to watch YouTube shorts. This is a real dilemma, protect kids, but at what privacy cost? And then comes their biggest point, the one aimed straight at Silicon Valley. They accuse tech companies of failing young people. These platforms were built with growth as their first principle instead of safety. Translation: kids' mental health was sacrificed for profit. They added, "We hope this ban is only the start of a reckoning." This is strong, unfiltered language, and it points to what they want next. Not bans, not age restrictions, but fundamental redesign of how platforms work. A few weeks before this statement, Harry appeared on Hassan Minhaj's podcast and said something every parent needs to hear. No parent should have to worry that an app on a phone could harm their child. He said he and Meghan will be extremely cautious about allowing Archie and Lilibet on social media because kids will be kids, but these platforms are not built for kids. That's a powerful truth. Australia's new law is radical, and it's only the beginning. We're now watching governments taking action, tech companies scrambling, parents waking up, and global leaders like the Sussexes sounding the alarm. The real question is this: will the world follow Australia or push back against it? Are we about to see a global movement to protect kids online, or a massive fight between governments and Silicon Valley? Let me know what you think in the comments.